Hi everybody, my name's Tom. You're watching my channel, Rant District, and this is finally part 7 of 7. This is my 2015 in review series, where I'm showing the vinyl that I picked up in 2015 that was new releases. It had to be released in 2015. Original music, no reissues. No compilations, just new music that's released in 2015 on vinyl. Mercifully, now that we're at part 7, I've only got 4 to show. This covers the months of November and December. And let's get to it. November 6th on Joyful Noise Recordings. And the label Joyful Noise will end up being ironic. Here's the album. It's called The Unspeakable Practices. That's the name of the band and the name of the album, The Unspeakable Practices. Here's a look at the back of it. The Unspeakable Practices. It's kind of listed as, I don't know what made me buy this. I always listen to a sound clip or something, and then usually it's a short clip, and then decide if I want to buy it or not, and give it a shot. This is described as jazz rock, or jazz and rock, and free improvisation and experimental. And experimental, I know it can be bad, I know it can be great. So usually when I see experimental, I like to experiment, I want to check it out. So the label, if you can see at the bottom there, the label is Joyful Noise. The noise part of it is accurate for this particular album. It's not joyful. It's I would really just call it noise. It's like borderline not even music. It's just, I'm not even trying to describe it. It's noise. It's one of those things that there's definitely elements of jazz to it and elements of rock. I assume this is kind of what people would call free jazz, assuming that free jazz kind of means jazz so bad that nobody would pay for it. Comes with a cardboard inner, heavy duty, front side and back side kind of plain, and some sort of greenish, bluish sort of vinyl. It's really, really horrible, but I'm going to keep it. For the rare times when we have people over who actually end up staying really beyond their welcome, and there's no real sensitive way to, get them to go like, hey, it's time to go home. This is what I'm going to spin. I'm going to spin The Unspeakable Practices to get people who inexplicably, I don't know, stay too late, just get them out the door. That's a terrible album, but I am keeping it because I am seriously, that's what I will use it for. I will use it to make people leave. All right, next up, the Invisible Astro Healing Quartet. It's their second album, and the name of the album is 2. Got 5 songs on it, but they're long songs. It's considered to be, it's labeled as rock and space rock, which is pretty accurate. It's, what did the label say? I got the label here somewhere. It says it's, blending Ethiopian funk with the outer realms of cosmic jazz and atonal psychedelia. And that kind of sounds accurate. Is it brilliant? For my taste, it's not brilliant, but it's a peaceful listen. Nothing stunning, but you're really good to relax to. It would have the opposite effect of The Unspeakable Practices. It's something I would put on to just have everybody relax and just have me relax. It's peaceful. It's a good listen. I have their first album as well, and it didn't really grab me. But this is better. This is on Trouble in Mind Records. Came out on November 13th. Plain black. Is that black vinyl? Yeah, it's black vinyl. Here's a look at the label. It's enjoyable. Record number 3 out of 4. I had pre-ordered this. This is Jenny Lee's debut. It's Her name on this album as an artist is Jenny Lee. The name of the album is Right On. This is Jenny Lee Lindbergh, of bass player for Warpaint. Here's a flip side. And it's a really ethereal album. It's a kind of akin to shoegaze. It's a shoegaze in that her vocals are kind of like a little bit muddied in the back, a lot of times, behind the music, and it's kind of very ethereal. I don't know that there's really a better way to say it. It's kind of dreamy. It's came with some extras because I pre-ordered some Rough Trade records. Rough Trade came out on December 11th. Came a little Right On patch. This is very cool. Something like they refer to it as a Polaroid, but that's a brand name. This is a Fujifilm Instax shot. It's an actual signed Polaroid-ish, signed by Jenny Lee and taken. So it's kind of a one-of-a-kind thing that came with it. It's got a heavy-duty inner sleeve, and the vinyl is on. I'm just making up color names. It's some sort of blue splattery thing. It's good. I really was kind of expecting better because I dig Warpaint. But I expected more, but I do enjoy this. I was really looking for greatness out of it. But to be fair, the release date was December 11th. I haven't listened to it more than, I think I've listened to it twice. It needs more spins. But so far, it's good. But I was really expecting up here. Last thing I'm going to show. This was on Dave Splash's Best of 2015 list. He had it on CD. Dave Splash is The Dark Stuff. His YouTube channel is The Dark Stuff. He's in Omaha, I believe, and he's got a radio show. And this next band I'm going to show, apparently he was the first one in the United States, according to the band, if I recall correctly, to play their music. And it's really fucking good. The name of the band, got a lot of glare here, it's Pale Honey. And the vinyl was surprisingly not easily available. I actually had to order this from Sweden. And I think Dave did his video maybe around like the first of the month. It actually only took 9 days to get to me on the west coast of the United States from Sweden. It cost me 212 Swedish krona. I think that's their currency, which translate, and that's shipped, 212 Swedish krona, which is about 24 bucks and change US. Here's the backside. It's a very stripped down band. This came out on, this is actually not a November or December release. This came out on August 10th, but I wanted to get this in here because it came out in 2015. I just didn't know about it until Dave Splash showed it. There's really kind of a plain cover. It's autographed actually by Nelly and Tuva. They are the band. One on guitar, one on drums. Plain, it's black vinyl. Technology, Came out on plain black vinyl. Here's a look. It's just guitar and drums, stripped down, rock and roll. The vocals are great. The songs are fantastic. It's very, very basic, but really fucking good. It's not just great songs. It's a great sounding record. I believe this was pressed in Czechoslovakia. Thank God it wasn't, United in Tennessee, but it's a great sounding record. Really, really enjoyed it. So that's the four for November and December and August with Pale Honey. Pale Honey's, their CD I think came out a month or two prior, but the vinyl apparently was released in August. So for this episode anyway, 4 records, 3 were really good, or good enough to keep, and 1 I'm keeping, but just I'm keeping because it's so bad and I want to be able to get people out of the house without saying get the fuck out of the house. So overall 7 episodes. My count is that I showed 43 records and liked enough to keep 36 of them, which is roughly 83-84% success rate. And that, let's call it 83%. That's probably a higher rate than what is really accurate. You know, I try to be very honest with myself about whether I like things or not. And, you know, if you ask yourself the question, if I had listened to all of these records prior to purchasing them, you know, like I'm saying that 36 of these are keepers, would I have purchased all 36? Because some are kind of like, you know, good enough to keep, but not necessarily ones that you would go like listen to first and then go, yeah, I gotta have that. So it'll be interesting to see how I apply this to my purchasing habits in 2016 as far as new music goes. You know, I'm just an average guy, average job, average income. So I want to get the most out of the money that I'm spending, and I don't know that I did that this year as far as brand new releases. You know, I'm an adventurous person. I don't necessarily want to listen to the whole thing before I bring it home, but maybe it's something I should do. So I'm not sure which way I'm going to go on this. You know, this whole series is about me examining for myself what I did, you know, showing you what I picked up along the way, and then I'll see how it affects my behavior going forward. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching. You know, sticking with it if you did. If you just dropped in for the one episode, you picked a short one, well done.